Hi, my Leo Collective. I am here today to give you your message for October 2025. Now, if you see, I already have cards laid on my table. Why? Because I legit have recorded your reading, and then all of a sudden the computer did something kind of weird. And then all of a sudden I noticed it didn't record any of our session together. So I'm just going to go down the line and kind of tell you what's up from there on, and then I can continue the tarot card reading. All right. Thank you for being with me. The first thing that we're going to look at is the Mercury retrograde. That is October 2nd to the 16th. Oh, I just saw something. Um, Let me just clear that air. Sorry if it bothered your ears. I saw something. So I'm just going to clear it out because I know that was something that was trying to block this message from getting to you. Like I said, it just didn't record it, even though I can see it counting down and recording. Let's just go to that. Now, the first thing I'm seeing is this combination. One of them is the sacred journey, and the second one is the moon. It says move forward. This is the influence of the Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde will take place on the 2nd of October all the way to the 16th. Now, this Mercury retrograde, I don't think will be like any of the other Mercury retrogrades you guys have ever experienced. It has a lot of influence with the trine, a return of energy, of justice with the Sun and Libra. There's also Aquarius energy, which currently is in retrograde of Pluto. It feels like you're going to get really clear about some kind of unhealthy pattern or some kind of trust that you had on a person, place, thing, or energy that you're kind of like, F that, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay? The combination of these two cards is significant because the sacred journey is talking about like your root chakra and like the foundation that in which you were established or planted or grounded into, and like being removed from that energy through an energy of understanding. So you're kind of like seeing everything and you're like and taking out, flushing the toilet that's around you. Then you have this moving on energy, noticing that the darkness that was inside of you was important to address that you weren't doing before, because this darkness is the one that's going to push you towards the light, that movement that you want going forward. Now, in that energy of 26, I read for you, it was so weird, that this is affecting your solar plexus, which is your divine masculine energy, your strength, which is the Leo energy. Because Leo energy is and the embodiment of ego, your masculine energy, and your strength, which is your solar plexus. So this could have affected your energy in feeling disempowered, unable to move forward, feeling doubts about how you're supposed to move forward. And it says here, I am triumphant in knowing that even darkness serves its purpose in the frustration of my soul. And that's what I'm feeling, like this energy of extended stagnation, and you're like, the F is going on, like I don't understand why I feel this way, and it's because you've been stuck in a loop for way too long. And then it says there is wisdom in knowing that even darkness serves its purpose in the growth of my soul, and that's a Nari quote. The second thing that is here is the moving forward, and then the moving forward energy, it says you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep reading the old one. And that's just an anonymous person. And this is affecting your base chakra, which goes back to the sacred journey, talking about your root and clearing things out, your sacral space, and your solar plexus, the first three energy centers of your family, of your system. That literally is the established beliefs and the framework that you have based on where you came from, right? The social groups that you were connected to and the community you grew up in. And it says, I am grateful for my past experiences, good and bad. I embrace the lesson learned and now move forward courageously. You can't start the new chapter of your life if you continue rereading the old one. And so this goes back to this energy of shadow work. And this goes back to the energy of the visiting old wounds. There is importance, value, need for you to see your past. The need for seeing the past is more linked to the energy of being able to know why you have experienced a glitch in your system, why you have certain patterns and unhealthy behaviors. They are not for you to stay there. There's this thing that I read from a book from Caroline Myss that says, or Mies, I don't know, that says that people sometimes get lost in woundology and they create it as a badge of honor. What does woundology mean? This is the experiences of your past defining you to such a way that now you create like a persona based on your past. And when we first experience our past and when we go through all this thing, we can go through this period of sadness where we're like, we're disempowered, we're weak because of our past, right? But then if we address it, we can get into this thing of I'm a survivor, I am victorious over the things that hold me back. But then it becomes one of these things where we judge the world based on other people that can't do what we can do. Like they're weak, they're this other thing. You should be stronger, you should be this. You have these shoulda, woulda, couldas for all the people around you because of what you're feeling, right? In a way, you then become the aggressor, but in a different way. And so these are two sides of the pendulum, right, that are out of balance. And the whole point of visiting your past is not to say, I'm better than everybody else. The whole point of it is saying, this was an experience that was holding me back. Now that I realize that, I won't not allow it to hold me back. Now let's focus on my future. And when you're focusing on your future, if something comes, either one side of the spectrum or another, you're like, wait, I know this pain. This is from here. I cannot acknowledge what I want to do in that moment because what I want to do in that moment is my past. It's not my present. So that's what this is saying. Now, the next thing we were looking into is the full moon in Aries, which is influenced by the Mercury retrograde, which is October 6th. And the card you got is divination. Okay. And then the divination card says, take a breath, take it twice. Insightful reflection are guiding by I guided by light. And this is literally using this moon energy as a form of purification, as a form of releasing the inner demons that you have, as releasing your pain, ending that old chapter in your life. What we're saying here is that there is a door that's being opened for you, but you can't see it because you're still focusing in the old chapters. So I would recommend for this moon energy to use it as a ritual of closure, right? You guys can do it as elaborate or as simple as you want to. This can be like spiritual bath. Can be like an actual like funeral that you create for that old version of yourself. This can be whatever it is that you need to let go of. But create a ritual of closure for you so you can end this chapter and make this a day for you, okay? So that you can move forward. And then the following thing that I was looking into was Venus entering Libra. This also initiates the Pluto going direct in the sign of Aquarius. So this is clearing of illusions and distortions and confusion so that you can see who you really are and how you're really going to be going forward. And so that one was really interesting because we got this card. And the thing that I find so interesting about it is, let me move it here. Okay. It has to cover my face so I can focus on it. Is two versions of you dancing with each other. The one that came from your foundation, the red one, and the one that is coming from your future, the light one, and they're dancing with each other. The reality is that your your past does show you how you survive, how strong you are, how you can move forward, but it also creates root work for you so that you know how you work in this reality, in the world that you are around, and how to surpass all the obstacles that are in front of you. And when your lower energies from your solar plexus all the way down to your root chakra talk to your upper energies, this is your heart space all the way to your crown chakra, the two realms can create harmony and create things for you in the future. So it's asking you to start listening more to your instincts and help you to move forward. Now, that one doesn't have um, an actual word to it. It's kind of like a reflection with the card, but I am going to read for you what it means. And the card literally is called instinct. It's called instinct, and it says, indulge the flame that you feel burning without repressing it. Transform it into, ooh, I've turned it to the wrong page. Hold on. Transform it into your strong point. With pride, you will obtain the results you desire. In other words, you're instinctively going to be feeling an urge to something. This can be a different career. This can be different people. This can be different, a practice that you want to start. This can be I don't know, cutting your hair, something. It can be as exaggerated as you need it to be and as small as you need it to be. Okay. But you're going to be called to do something, and it's an instinctual thing. I would recommend that you listen and you do. And don't ignore that inner calling, because it's for a healing, a balancing energy. When Venus enters Libra, you are not going to accept things that are out of balance when it comes to relationships and connections with people. And so what you're being called to get away from are things that you feed a lot to, but don't give you anything in return. Okay? So then we move into this energy, which is the energy of the new moon in Libra. Again, moons in Libras are all talking about coming into balance. This would be on the 21st of October. And there's a square, which is my wall, right? The walls that come up in the world. And the square is in Jupiter and Cancer. So again, now you're going to see clearly the wall that is not allowing you to gather yourself, your resources, your ideas, your movement forward, and have allowing you to plant it somewhere else. You're going to see what it is. And when you discover what it is, you're going to want to confront the situation, take it out of your path, and allow you to move forward. And the two cards that I got was Carrie with celebration and Friday the 13th with a mask. And this is really interesting because I believe that in some kind of gathering, it can be in some kind of gathering, um, in, I want to say online or in person, something is going to like kind of snap inside of you, and you are going to no longer want to use the mask that you used to use before to keep the peace, to fit into status quo, to etc. Right? I just needed to clear my throat because I'm feeling a tickleness in my throat. This feels kind of like seeing some kind of injustice or seeing some kind of like imbalance or whatever, and literally getting to the point of I've had it, and then doing something about it, even if it has to be small, because you're ready to move forward. Then we're talking about the tarot for October, and we start off with the sun. And the song that comes up is I Can See Clearly Now, The Rain Is Gone. And I think I had that song for Sagittarius's reading. We also have the Strength card, which is your Leo card. It's number 8. And do you see how the focus is on the eyes in the background? It's because you're seeing clearly. And because you're seeing clearly, you're that lion. The one that's strong, the one that's ambitious, the one that's going to go in the direction it knows, because it no longer has doubt from the past, right? The people that you were connected to before, the situations you were connected to before that kind of defined you, and you didn't want to like move away from them because you felt really bad because you had emotional connections to them, or because they defined you. And if you decided to go in a different direction, then who are you, right? That fear, that doubt, that worry, and releasing that, creating a change. Then we have this card that is the Three of Wands, take the lead. And take the lead is definitely the lion energy, but this is the Three of Wands. Now starting to understand the things that you have to reach for. You're reaching for them because you know they're yours, because you know that you've held yourself back from what it is that you really want to do. Okay? Look at this. Then we have the Two of Swords in reverse and the Judgment card in reverse. Why? Because one of the things that you're letting go of is your judgment of yourself and your judgment of others. Sometimes one of our defense mechanisms is over criticizing the people around us, saying they should do this, they should do that, they should do this, they should do that. But the reality is it's because we feel the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and then we reflect them outwardly. We stop focusing on what other people should and shouldn't do when we know that we're in the right path. Because it doesn't matter. Because they don't matter. Because what matters is your path and what you want to do going forward. And that sounds a little harsh, but the reality is every single one of us are our own little universe. And we either meld into another universe and live their reality, or we give ourselves the allowance to live ours. And this, I think, is your decision to live your life. Look at that. And then we have the crown chakra in reverse. I think that what's going to happen is for a while, you are going to stop listening so much to your head, because that's where this energy lives, and start living more in your instincts, which is where your lion lives. And so I think it's a good thing. Sometimes we have to learn how to turn it off, our head, because we live in this universe of our head, and then we don't allow ourselves to live in the universe of reality. Right? In the bottom of the deck, we have, wow, this just gets better and better for you guys, the Nine of Pentacles. And it says well-deserved reward. And this is independence, freedom, and standing in your power, because this no longer defines you. I hope you enjoy October. It's going to be really fiery for you. I feel like the lion is coming out of his cage. So congratulations for you letting the lion out of the cage. And we'll see you the next time.